Well, this morning I got a call from a friend making fun of my video, suggesting I make a video to apologize to all those people who lost money listening to my mush picks. So I'm going to take a moment to apologize to myself for not heeding my own best advice and judgment. I always go into the casino thinking that I'm going to gamble some different way, change my habits, but yet I fall into the same traps and problems. So this is going to be a briefing on how poorly I did and a testament why you shouldn't listen to anything you might interpret as gambling advice on YouTube. Well, at least from me. You want to go to others for advice? Fine. Please go. This is evidence that I have no idea how to be successful about MMA bout betting. But I'm going to start with some good things, because if you think I'm going to quit, you are sadly mistaken. That evening, Alonzo Minifield and Vicente Luque put on fantastic performances. I thought Alonzo was going to go in there and just smash the dude. He was successful in submitting his opponent, as well as Vicente Luque to Tyron Woodley. Wow, he just looked fantastic. He took Woodley's blows. He dodged Woodley's blows. Those hammers were coming really fast and hard from Woodley. Problem that I made here, and I also benefited or capitalized from the Morales finish, was that I didn't scale up on my bets on these on four of my 6 winning bets. I just didn't scale properly. I should have went more units into them. I should have used them. I did use a lot of them in parlays. I just really didn't think it out very well. I was very poorly organized, and that's what happens when you place so many bets and you're not really organizing them in some other fashion. So I'm going to figure something like that out, because I definitely need a better way to gather what I'm doing strategically betting wise. So here was another bout that was an easy pick. Abubakar Nurmagomedov. I should have scaled in a lot larger. We saw Aliyah Sleaze in his corner. They picked Jared Gooden, who was just an ideal candidate for him. The guy had his hands down the whole time. He didn't strike at all. They made Nurmagomedov make into a striker so that they could set him up with better competition next time. It was really a great performance by Abubakar, and I just should have went harder on this particular prop bet there. Abu Azatar, what can we say? I thought I was in there the first minute and a half of this bout. He was moving very well. He was striking very well. And then about 2 minutes into the fight, I realized that I was going to lose. Kamal Worthy, wow, he didn't realize he was in a fight. He was completely dazed. I don't think he realized that he was in Las Vegas. Unfortunately for me, I thought that he was a stronger favorite than Jamie Malarkey, but that cost me, because I actually utilized Worthy in a parlay that was significant, as you could see here with 2 winners. The prop bet that really destroyed me was the not to go the distance prop in the Olajishuk fight with Bukowskis. It was, I didn't think it was a very good affair at all. Bukowskis really just spun around the cage a lot, picked a little spot to strike, and then zapped out. Olajishuk should have made some adjustments to cut off the cage and get to his opponent a little bit better. I thought a finish, since these guys were so strong that a finish was there, I definitely put this and went too strong all over the place on that particular prop, and it really, really hurt me in the end. Jillian Robinson, man, it just was a matter of strength. I think the young lady she fought, Miranda Maverick, just had so much more strength. Robertson just couldn't manage to grasp her, do anything to generate any offense, even in the feet. So this, again, I'm going to take another moment here as a learning lesson. I do these things for fun here on YouTube, and I think a little bit of my pride and stuck with me when I was at the casino, in that my whole table was going for Miranda Maverick and was looking at me suspect, like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this, et cetera, et cetera. I submitted my case for it, but I didn't change my bet when everybody was looking at me like, man, change your bet. So I went with a little pride here. I think I should have listened to the table at that moment. I'm around a good group of people that really understand what they're doing. I'm with them every week, so we're discussing our picks on, for the most part, a lot of times. I know some of us don't like sharing our tickets, and we have a few people on the table that do that. They don't share their picks in the end, but they might make a comment or something that gives us a hint of which way they're leaning. So I don't know if I discussed this, the 3-pick round robin parlays that I do a lot of these. I did this with the minute field, not to go the distance prop. I did this with the Olajuwon prop. Things that I feel very strongly on, like Vicente Luque winning, I'll break those all up into sets of 3-pick round robins and lay larger amounts of money on those particular round robins. Sometimes it's successful for me, sometimes not. I would have done very well if I hit the 3-pick round robin plays with Stipe, as well as the not to go the distance prop with Olajuwon, because that one, as I mentioned before, was a real killer. So here's another prop that 3-pick round robin that did pay, and that was O'Malley winning with Luque winning and Stipe losing. So I get paid out on part of that. Not very much money at all, but it could have changed, and it could have been a different way. O'Malley, let's talk about O'Malley for a second, man. O'Malley looked crisp. Those strikes were sharp. His leg kicks were quick. He was caught once and taken down, and it was because he didn't finish Alameda when he had the opportunity. So I think he's going to learn from that. He seemed to calm himself down. He realized he made a mistake, despite what he might have said in the post-press conference, where I'm certain he was talking himself up quite a bit. I didn't watch any of the post-fight press conferences. I was a little salty, so I tend to just lick my wounds and not watch any of the hype until the day after or something like that, so that I just don't get aggravated or stressed on how poorly I did. But I'm going to show you how everything broke down for me in this event. I bet it did 21 total wagers. Yes, don't laugh. That's a lot of wagers. Mainly parlay bets, as you can see here, 3 single line money bets and 8 prop bets. So I'm distributed in very, very difficult wagers. It's not something that I would recommend people to do. I fall into this trap, as I mentioned earlier. I really think I dig a hole for myself when I try to create plus money based on my imaginary sense of knowledge of what's going to happen here. And it can cost you, of course, you can benefit from it. Next up, we see here the amount of winning tickets I had was scarce. I had 6 winning tickets and 15 losing tickets. It's a little deceptive in terms of my 21 wagers in there. I didn't account for my 3-pick round robin wagers. Some of those break down, of course, into individual parlay wagers. So I actually wagered more than 21 by a significant amount. So it's something that I have to really analyze and look at. I've won this way before, but I was looking at if my risk to reward and what the return is. I certainly could have doubled or tripled up, but it didn't seem to wash properly in the numbers once I started looking at this. It definitely wasn't the best way to try to make a profit. So of the losing tickets, which were 15 of them, 3 were single prop bets. We see here 3 single money line bets and 9 parlay bets. So I'm really strong on the parlay. Somebody has a parlay problem. Yes. So in the winning tickets we see here, they were all single props. I showed you all the single prop bets that I did. I even put some of those in parlays, but I put them in some of the wrong as the wrong legs, or the proper legs in the wrong spots. So that's another bad thing that I'm doing. Stipe represented basically most of my exposure. Here, if you look, Stipe was involved in 76% of my bets, or my potential winning bets in some way. So it was a mistake that I've done before. I definitely have rested a lot of my earnings potential on one person or one fighter before. I did that with Brunson last week. And I also did it with Jan Blachowicz against Israel Adesanya. So it's a mistake. I think I need to stop putting sort of all my eggs into one basket. It's very risky, and obviously you're going to get caught and have problems like I did this weekend. So we see Stipe had my greatest earnings potential. That bout with him, as well as the distance prop with Olajuwon and Bukauskas. If those two bouts had gone my way, I would have tripled my investment. And just with a STIPE victory, I would have doubled what my investment was. Initially, I thought it was my numbers were far worse than that. But I would still say, even despite my earnings potential, the way or the path that I was getting towards that, is not very easy, not very wise. Besides precarious, it didn't work, and it crushed me. And so I think I'm making it like I do in a lot of things. I make it a lot harder for myself to achieve my goal. But again, it's aggressive gambling that style that I have, because I have a parlay problem. I'm obviously chasing props and parlays, and putting props in parlays. My betting volume is out of control. I'm really all over the place. I do indeed bet every fight. I have fun doing that, where I think part of the environment hurts me, or at least it contributes to that. It doesn't hurt me. I like going to the teller. I like walking around. Some people like to be lower key. If you want to think that I'm out there in front, well, think that. That's fine. I do enjoy the ambiance and the environment, and I enjoy winning. Despite what I'm telling you here and letting you know that I'm losing, I definitely enjoy winning, and I want to win when I go there. Another thing I did is I scaled too quickly. I went too large on some bets and on the wrong ones, and I scaled erroneously, or I didn't scale, as I mentioned earlier, in the proper locations with the best bets that I could have. So I didn't even go with the best bets that I should have gone. On the bets that I did win, I'm risking too much for my return, as well as for a lot of the bets that I did lose. I really have to analyze those a little better. I'm going to crush them down in a different context in the future. I just wanted to do this briefly to see how it all turned out. It's been a good experiment for me. I know where I see my areas of improvement. I know that I got to keep looking at what I'm doing so that I can be successful, so that I can do things right, and that I'm not losing in there. So I want to win more than I did last year. I think it's possible. Man, my numbers are not looking so good, and neither is the pocketbook at this point, but we're going to turn things around. So if folks out there, if this helps anyone out there, please like and subscribe. If you sat through this, please already like and subscribe. Give a comment. There's a lot of space there. If you want to say anything, you want to laugh at me, you want to make fun of me, great, please. There is a whole comment section there. Please share this. Say, hey, that dude Bout Better, he's a farce. Would appreciate everything, all your help. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe.